cases to be heard. Can you, would each of you address that question?
Specifically for Superior Court,
That, yes.
the cases in Superior Court is a process. When someone, a warrant is issued and someone is arrested, they're in district court. They make their first appearances in district court, and it usually takes up to 3 or 4 months. The grand jury only meets every other month. You have to be indicted by the grand jury to be held over for Superior Court. And then when it gets into Superior Court, there's another first appearance in administrative court, and there's usually a session where the defendant is offered a plea, and then eventually they're sent over to a trial date. So it's kind of a process.
Thank you. Mr. Roberts, your knowledge of that may be too.
I'll tell you why, because we've got a lot of people breaking the law. That just cuts it right down to the quick. And I'll tell you why, because we have failed in this country to support the laws that we have on the books. We put people in, then we take them out. Put people in, we take them out. And people don't serve their full terms, and there are good reasons. Don't get me wrong. There are good reasons, and there are people who deserve the reward of being able to walk out early. But there are too many people that are not being held accountable. And so it's really the same people going back over and over and over and over again. It really is.
Sure.
If I may add just a little bit to what Mark had said there, every other month the grand jury convenes. That case gets introduced in the Superior Court. It's automatically going to get a continuance. But every other month we're picking up between 50 and 60 additional charges that's going to Superior Court from grand jury charges. And the thing that's happening in grand jury, Superior Court, is cases are getting continued. They're getting continued for whatever reason. Madison County is second to Watauga County for caseload. In the 5 counties that we have, we truly need more Superior Court time in Madison County because criminals don't stop breaking the law. They continue to break the laws. Therefore, we've got to, at some point, the judges have got to say, Madison County, North Carolina, has got to have more Superior Court time where we can get some of these cases adjudicated.
Mr. Kennedy.
There are a lot of reasons, and I won't go into them. You can make your own. I've worked in court systems that are huge, and their systems speed along. I've worked in court systems where there is a backlog, there is a slowdown. And it generally falls back to the people that are involved in those systems. So they can speed them up or they can slow them down. Like I said, I've worked in some big court systems where the judges, the DAs, and the clerks speed them on through. And so I don't know what the reasons are, but there's many, and you can choose and pick what those reasons were.
Thank you. Mr. Roberts, we'll start with this next question with you, and it's really open-ended, but if you think about it, it's an interesting question. In your role as either clerk or sheriff, how would you handle situations that you don't have the immediate answer to? What's your way of dealing with that?
Well, there's probably something going to come in every single day that I don't know about. And the best thing you can do is you can take somebody and you can say, you know what, I'm going to do the best I can. I'm going to get on the phone, I'm going to get on the computer, I'm going to talk to the experts, I'm going to go talk to the sheriff, I'm going to go talk to the DA, I'm going to go talk to whoever's involved in this, and I'm going to find out. I mean, what else do you do? When you don't know something, you can either stand there and look like an idiot, or you can go find out. And it seems to me it's better to go and do something than it is to do nothing. And so I may not ever get to the right answer, but it won't be for a lack of trying.
Sheriff.
As being a member of the North Carolina Sheriff's Association, 100 sheriffs in the state of North Carolina, we have counsel. And in the event that we have a problem that we can't answer, we go to him. If he can't answer that problem, we'll, Mark, Cody, and I bounce questions and things that happen every day in this county. What are we gonna do with this? What are we gonna do with that? It is a double-edged sword. You've got to make the right decision, but you know, sometimes the right decision is not the right decision. You've got to make, to the best of your ability, the best decision that you can make. But the sheriff's office does have counsel that's provided by the state of North Carolina.
Mr. Cahagan?
In law enforcement, if you're asking that question, it's law enforcement. Any law enforcement officer has 2 years to make a charge. He does not have to make that decision on the spot. So if he has a question, he should slow down and get the right answer before he makes the charge. As a sheriff, if you elect me, maybe I'll get to contact some of these people Buddy is for his assistance. I'd like to be able to do that, plus pay my dues that he's paying as a Sheriff's Association. But there's a lot of things to ask. You can ask the DAs, the judges, and other people, just like the sheriff said. But the biggest thing is for the officers not to go off half-cocked and make charges before they know what they're making.
Mr. Cody?
In the clerk's office, you're not gonna have an answer immediately for everyone, for everything they wanna know. The laws and things are continually changing. But I believe that I'll be able to provide you a good answer. I think that I've developed a good working relationship with my fellow clerks, and I've developed good relationships with some of the district attorneys and some of the judges, and some of the regular attorneys, and I believe I could use those relationships to help you answer some of your questions or concerns. But and if all else fails, as Mr. Harwood said, the court system does have a legal counsel that provides information for the clerk's office. And there's even a DMV number that's available to the clerk's office if you have questions about someone's driver's license. So,
Sheriff Harwood, we're getting close to the end of the general questions that are not so narrowly focused. I think it'd be hard for somebody to answer it. But for the issue questions, one of them is why should I vote for you over your opponent? So we're now talking about your opponent this time.
Why should you vote for me over my opponent? I've worked for you for 15 years. I've been in and out of every holler, just about in Madison County. I've dealt with you, your families, on both professional and personal things going on. I am qualified, I am trained. We have boots on the ground. We have active investigations going on in this county that if it was disrupted on November 11th, it would take literally months for that investigation to be up and running again. And to finish that question, I pay my FOP dues. The county pays the Sheriff's Association dues based upon the population of the county. That was set way before Buddy Harwood ever became sheriff, many, many years ago.
Mr. Katie?
And that question was why I vote for me?
Yes, sir. And, as opposed to your opponent.
Well, I wouldn't be running if I didn't think that I could do a better job. I think I have the experience to do it. What I want to do is run a sheriff's department that is honest, has integrity, and has people that's there for you. I will be there for you. I will answer your telephone calls if you call. I will meet with you if you come to the office. I don't care when it is, where it is. I will have an answer for you, yes or no. I will tell you honestly. If something changes, I will call you back. I will be truthful with you at all times. I will run the sheriff's department legally, fairly, and to the best of my ability. And that's why I think you should vote for me. Thank you.
Mr. Cody, same question.
I think you should consider my experience as clerk. I think I've proven myself to be an effective clerk and willing to work for all the people, not just a few people, regardless of what your party affiliation or whatever it is. And I believe that I have a desire to help people. I think you should consider that. Also, I think you should consider my background. I've raised here in Madison County. I've lived here all my life. I think I know the people. And I think I know what they need. And my degree in criminal justice, and my education. I've raised my children here in Madison County. My grandchildren go to school here in Madison County. For those reasons, I think you should vote for me.
Mr. Roberts?
I think that each person who comes to the job brings something that's unique. Mr. Cody has brought his own unique flavor to the office, and I believe that he's done the job to the best of his ability. And I think that it's just like Mr. Gahagan said, I think I can kick it up a notch. And I'd just like the chance to see if I could do it.
One more question, if we can. What do you believe is the most important duty of the office you're seeking? The most single, most important duty or requirement of your office? And I guess we start with Mr. Gahagan. Do I have that correct with you? Yes, sir.
You want one word?
If that's your answer.
Honestly. Be honest.
Mr. Cody? Well, just be the top priority, or the top
Most important duty?
most important duty.
I would say there's a lot of important duties the clerk needs to do. But the one single, probably most important duty will be the supervision of your staff. Because on average in Madison County, there's between 11 and 12,000 filings a year. And I try to give those folks as much personal attention as I can. And I help all of them that I can, but it's impossible with that many filings. And I think lead and guide your staff in the right direction would probably be the most important duty of the clerk.
Mr. Roberts?
I want to stand up on this one. I may go to shouting. I don't know. It's funny because my answer is just listen. All right, I despise to go to the doctor's office and them to take a look at me from across the room and tell me what prescription I need without ever asking me a question about what was wrong or how I feel or where it hurts. And I think the most important thing you can do in the clerk's office is to listen, because you don't know where you're going and you don't know why you're going unless you can listen to the people that come in there and what they need. Okay, and the only way you can know is to listen. When you start deciding what people want without listening, you're going in the wrong direction.
Candidates, thank you very much. And at this point, what we're going to do... Oh, my God. I hope it's not a patrol car outside.
That's some of the side effects of having a coat on. I think all of the above. I've heard honesty, I've read honesty. Let me tell you a little bit about the Madison County Sheriff's Office. Since I've been sheriff the past 4 years I've elected, we've come through 4 audits. We have passed those audits with flying colors. We've got an evidence room that's state of the art. It's accessed by 2 people. It's recorded at all times. I've got every piece of evidence in that evidence room is barcoded at any given time. My chief deputy, Michael Garrison, can go online and tell you what the status and where that piece of evidence is at. You know, I'm a professional interviewer. I've done it for years. When you keep hearing honesty, 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 it makes me wonder. Hey, you guys have worked for us for a long time. You know me. You know who I am.
Thank you. And now, we'll get to the final 10 minutes where each candidate will be able to give a summary and we'll touch on any points that have not been addressed that you might want to bring up at this time. Mr. Cody, in your rotation, you're up.
Thank you all for thank you all for being here this evening, and thank you for being a concerned voter. I appreciate your trust in allowing me to serve as your clerk. It's truly an honor and a privilege to serve as your clerk. You know, what you've seen out of me over the past 8 years, you're going to continue to see. I'll work hard, be available to all the people of Madison County, regardless of your race, gender, party affiliation, or financial status. When people come into my office, I don't view them as Republicans or Democrats or liberals or conservatives, but as friends and neighbors. I work to help each one. The clerk has many duties, you know, that of a judge or a comptroller or administrator, record keeper. And a clerk must have the ability to work with people, and I believe I've proven that I can work with people. The clerk must be able to look at a situation and hold a hearing without being biased or showing favoritism by incorporating the law with good common sense. Another good quality for a clerk to have, I believe, is the ability to show each one the same respect that he was going to receive, and to listen to each one as he was going to be listened to. These are some of the qualities I've tried to achieve as your clerk. I ask for your vote and your support, and even if you don't vote for me, I ask you to go vote. You know, it's one of our greatest rights as American citizens. Everybody needs to go vote.
Mr. Roberts.
I'd like to say I support that last statement. I think even if you're going to vote against me, I still want you to go out and vote, because I think it is a sacred duty. It is not only your patriotic duty, but I think one time we'll give account to the live in. Because the founding we are why did you? Why didn't you go vote? But he doesn't miss a trick. Let me tell you what. I'll just tell you.
I know what you want.
You know, we've talked about a little bit of everything here this evening. I taught my kids when they were growing up, and especially when they got into high school, I said, just remember when you're out there you're going to make decisions for yourself, and you're going to make mistakes, you're going to make good ones, you're going to make bad ones. But just let me tell you that if you do the crime, you're going to do the time. Okay? And I'm going to support that. All right, I'm going to love you, I'm going to support you, I'm going to do the best by you I can, but if you're guilty, you're guilty. And I believe that we need to bring that back to the justice system. I believe we need to bring it back to the courts. We need to bring it back to the clerk's office. I need every aspect of government. All right? And it is hard sitting up here talking to you. There are so many things going through my mind, and I'm sure that these other candidates are the same way. You wonder, should I say this or shouldn't I say that? But you want to get your point across that you love the people that you serve. And if you don't love them, you're not going to serve them. You're going to serve yourself. All right? And one of the things you've got to be able to do is you've got to be able to serve people that you just like to slap the crap out of them. And if you say that you haven't thought about that, then I'm going to say you're not telling the truth. I've sat in church meetings across from people, and I wanted to take them out behind the church, and I just wanted to have it out. I didn't care which one of us won. I just wanted to have it out. And, you know, we're human. That's the way we are. And we have to strive to do the best we can. And I'm going to tell you right here that I shall strive to do the best I can for you. I will try at my best to stand behind you. As long as you're doing the best that you can, I'm going to be right there beside you. And if you're not, I'm going to be on the other side opposing you. And I got no problems doing either one. I got no problem standing up to what's right, what I believe in. And I have no problem in listening to you, even if your opinion is different than mine. Okay? Because I think that it's in the dialogue that we've had, and sometimes it's with the people that I've had on the other side of me, that have been the most important growth factors that I've had in my life. Okay, I learned more from those people than I did the people who agreed with me. And so I welcome you to come down and have a chat with me. Okay, if it's my office, my door will be open to you, and we'll be greeted with a smile and a cup of coffee.
As I look over this room tonight, my memory goes back 4 years ago. I remember the first time I took the time. It's people before politics. I got a phone call or two from that machine. What is going on? That won't work. I ran a campaign on people before politics. When I got in, I made some changes. Hey, I work for everybody in this county, all the citizens of this county, and if I had been a politically motivated person, I wouldn't have hired Michael Garrison, a Republican, to be my chief deputy, but instead I hired qualified people, fulfill the obligations and the duties of the Madison County Sheriff's Office. I'm asking for your support November the 7th. If you don't vote for me like the other two candidates have said, hey, go vote. Because 4 years from now, 8 years from now, 12 years from now, if time lasts, there'll be other sheriffs sit right here. Go vote. Thank you.
Thank you. There's probably some folks that would like you to answer either one of those phones.
Oh, my goodness.
When I've been going out, this is a forum, and I'm not allowed to ask questions, but while I've been out politicking, I would love to have asked some questions that's in this folder. I can't convince you to vote for me sitting here in a forum. It's not the proper format to do what needs to be done. So I'm not gonna be able to convince you either way. But what you need to do is listen to the folks out in the communities who have dealt with the sheriff's office. Those are the people that know. Those are the ones that can give you the answers of what this sheriff department does and what the sheriff does. Those are the people you need to talk to. Nothing I'm gonna say is gonna convince you to vote for me. So all I'd ask you to do is listen to your friends and neighbors who have dealt with the sheriff's office. And that's the only thing I'll ask you to do. If you wish to vote for me, the only thing I'll promise you is that I'll be truthful and honest with you and run the department the way it's supposed to be run. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to close where we opened. It really takes a lot of fortitude and to sit up here and field questions, not knowing what's being asked, just take them